Hi everyone, welcome to Swedish Dharma Tarot. My name's christinamarialeifsdotter and I'm here today to do a reading for Virtuous Virgo. We love them. And just so that you know, we do all love them. They're kind-hearted and very, very generous. So is Leo, and I did Leo yesterday. But you know how it is? I pressed a button, I don't know which one, but it didn't load up. So it's in my library or whatever you call it, and I tried to set it now for 5:45. That was 3 minutes ago. So maybe with a bit of luck, it's been uploaded now. It's really crazy. But anyway, we're going to do Virgo. And if I can't upload Leo, I'll do it again. All right. So let's get cracking. I forgot to shuffle the cards before the reading. So you'll have to bear with me. Do you mind? In that case, in a minute or two. So, Spirit, what would you like to tell Virgo? This fell out. Work in the reverse, which is no work. And then this came, I don't know if it's in the reverse or if it's upright, but it's balance anyway. I'll put it on its side there. So there's a bit of imbalance there with work that you're doing, or perhaps the fact that you don't have a job at the moment. But you're on your way somewhere, I think, to another employment. Oh, for goodness sake, you're waiting for a communication and it's just not coming for a while. Look, every time I shuffle, they pop. This card is my card of dependency and codependency. Now, it's come up in the reverse. I wondered maybe if you're an alcoholic, dear Virgo. Could be. Now I'm going to do a last shuffle, or I'll end up having the whole bloody deck on the card, on the table. Look at that. On the table before I get to do the reading. This is really annoying me, Spirit. And here's somebody's spirit or soul. And I have to turn the alarm off. Sorry. Thank you, Spirit. It's probably your soul, but we don't know for sure. We'll see in the reading. But look at this one, with the imbalance and no work, etc., and no communication coming through. But here's the Nine of Cups. That's one of the ultimate cards of happiness. So everything should work out all right. Now I'm going to put them to the side, and I'm going to shuffle these cards. They have to pop for themselves every time. And things are popping very well tonight, so it shouldn't be a problem. You got two of them. Oh, can't read the figures. 5 and 1. So normally I do the shuffling before going on air because you don't have to wait for it then. Boundless. Maybe you have been boundless with work, Virgo. It's easily done for a Virgo. We'll see. This is number 1, and it's creation. That's a great one to have. And then we're going to take an oracle card from the yogic path as well. Right. And you got Sahasrara. Look it up here. It belongs to the chakras. Maybe it's the crown chakra. Yes, it is. It's the crown chakra. That's the one we have at the top of our head, and we connect with the universe with that. Yeah. All right. So let's have a look at these cards then. Last shuffle, I can't really resist. And very bloody hell. I had to take another popper, didn't I? As you wish, Spirit. The Chariot fell out. It's not the Chariot. It's called Movement, but it's called the Chariot in the classic tarot cards. It's the card for Cancer. So maybe that connects to this King of Cups. But it's also often a career card. So we'll just leave that. I've never had that many on the table, but we'll just leave it there for the time. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 cards on the table. Incredible. So let's see. Yeah, I'd like to take the opportunity to just tell you as well that I'm quite happy to do a private reading for you. It'll set you back $30, 30 euros, 300 Swedish krona, or 30 pounds. And you can ask anything you like about your love life, your business, if you have one, previous lives, or who your guide is, or maybe you'd like to have contact with somebody that's passed. It's all up to you. There's one exception to the price list, and that's if you happen to come from Africa, India, or some other part of the world where that kind of money is not accessible for a tarot reading. So don't let that stop you. Get in contact with me anyway, and I'll do my best to try and help you. All right? Great. Now let's see what you're up to here, Virgo. You haven't popped up yet, but I sort of have the feeling that you are a man, but I can't be too sure. But I do see that for the moment, you have great solace in your family members, and in particular, your female family members, so sisters, mothers, grandmothers, etc. The Wheel of Fortune comes here as well, and that means that you're under very, very good protection of the universe. Here's also money, luck, and everything that's good in life. And we've seen in 2 places, the 9 of Cups came up here, right? And you have the 10 of Cups here, and now you've even got your Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to be very, very good. And I have the feeling that you have been a workaholic, but I also have the feeling, because I'm talking past tense, that you've understood that, and you are in a period of recuperation, of gaining your strength. This card, the 4 of Swords, when it's in the upright, is a card showing anxiety and or depression and extreme fatigue. But you got it in the reverse, so you're already on the way to recuperating. And then you got the Ace of Pentacles. You got that in reverse. For me, that's money. So it's easy for a Virgo to be driven, because you're an earth sign and you're a material sign, to be driven to achieving. When you couple that with an unbelievable high energy level, you never get tired. And if you do, you don't listen. That's the problem. If you do, then you don't listen. Because it takes you a lot longer to get tired than it does for the rest of us. But the critical thing is that often you don't listen, and then there's a burnout. There's a crash coming. I think you've had one. And you're possibly in it. And if it hasn't turned around yet, then I have the great privilege of telling you that it will. And it will turn around soon. It's my experience that there's no other star signs except Taurus. Taurus and Virgo are predominant amongst people with burnout. And it's so sad, because you're so loved and you're so needed. But sometimes I think you serve, because that's Virgo's motto, I serve. It's wonderful. But it's at your own expense. And this is probably one of the great life lessons that you have this time around, when you've chosen to come down as a Virgo. And that being said, I think I lost my thread a bit, but I hope you understood. If you don't, write it in the description box afterwards or in the chat now. Yeah. So there's a great deal of sadness that you're carrying. Yeah, you are a man. You still haven't come up as the Virgo you are, but you're coming up as a fire sign. So that becomes a bit like double trouble if you're earth and fire, because my goodness, can you get going? There's no action as in a fire sign, and couple that with the earth's tenacious nature. Yeah, it's quite remarkable. And it's something to be very proud of and very happy for. But without the self-respect to put the brakes on, it can, dire consequences. Did I say consequence? Consequence, yeah, that's what it is. So with that comes a bit of a guilty conscience, which is great. I like to see this, Virgo, because that really understands that you've understood that you've created this problem, which is really fantastic, because with that understanding, the next step is accepting, and that is going to safeguard you from doing that same thing again, because that's not always the case. There are people in the world, I won't mention any star signs, but there are people in the world who don't learn the lesson, and they recover, and they go out and they do it again. But you will not be doing that, dear Virgo. You won't. You really won't. And also, I see here that you're on your way into your next life cycle. That's represented by the Buddha Tara. Now, the Buddhists work in 7-year cycles, and that's what she has taught me in the cards. But there are other cycles, or rather not other cycles, but friends of numerology would say that we live in 9-year cycles. You might be one of those. You know that yourself. Look in the rearview mirror and count. You can see the cycles. So you're on your way into this new cycle. I think it's a little bit delayed. You should have probably got in there in the autumn of 2020. But I think you were in your burnout then. But now you're on your way. And this card is great because it tells us there's no looking back. There's no looking back. There's no regrets either, which is great, because that means that you've understood and you've even accepted your situation without blame. It's nobody else's fault. It's all my fault. And yeah, been there, done that. Now I'm looking forward to my new life. And yeah, it'll be really good. It will be really good. So, yeah, I think we can just conclude that all these cards that flew out in the beginning with imbalance, no work, and abuse that's in the reverse, no more workaholic, but you're moving on to a more complete soul, because that's what happens when we're depressed or anxious. That has its seat in our soul. But your soul comes up upright, not in the reverse. So you really have recovered. You're just about there. And then there's this one. Yeah, it could possibly mean a move. It can also mean study. If you may be going to study something else, change your line of work altogether. And don't forget this one, the 9 of Cups, happiness. You've created it. That's the thing, we think we're not that good at manifesting a lot of the time, but when you have a burnout, you've manifested it. When you get your way, make your way through that trauma, and you recuperate and become like you are now, dear Virgo, on the way to happiness and change and all things good, you've manifested that too. It's important to have in mind. So That's it with the tarot. Let's have a look at the oracle cards. And the number one was creation. You are a creator. You manifested it. Can't make this up. When this card appears, it signifies a strengthening in your energetic field to bring those things which you require into physical manifestation. What did I tell you? Creation is happening quickly, from thought into form. Be conscious of what thoughts be conscious of what thoughts you're having. The time between the thought and its appearance on the physical will be quick. Now is the time to get clear about what you desire in your life. Yes, the universal energies are working with you to bring your desires to fruition. So nice. And then you had number 5, boundless. This is a card without limits. It is eternal and infinite. Either you're just beginning to experience your own unlimited nature, or you're holding yourself back from it. This card asks you to remove any doubts and fears you may have. Move forward in faith, knowing the only limits you will ever experience are the ones you have created for yourself based on your own beliefs. A world without boundaries or limits is opening to you. Anything and everything is possible. So keep on manifesting. Wow. And the yogic path, you got, Sahasrara, that's right, you got the crown chakra. You may have noticed intuitive rushes of creative wisdom channeling through you, lighting up your every cell. That is called a download, and it's a message from the divine selected to come to you because you have the potential to birth it on this planet. These downloads occur when the crown chakra is open, which may only be a few seconds, but it's enough to illuminate a path that you never knew possible. Find what brings you to these channeling states and bring yourself there as much as possible. Whether it's through meditation, walking in nature, singing, or writing, the absence of the mind allows the genius of the divine. I love that sentence. I put it out on my Facebook a few times. I'll read it again because it's so brilliant. The absence of the mind allows the genius of the divine. Yeah. That's a great one for meditation. Those intuitive hits chose you. Now it's your time to birth them to life. That's a big honor. Oh, dear Virgo, thank you very much for watching. And I would really appreciate a thumb up. Give me a thumb down if you didn't like it, but please tell me why. That would help me a lot. And if you could share and even subscribe, then my happiness would be complete. So thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow it'll be Libra. Hope to see you then. Love and light.